Hi, I'm Zanfar. Welcome back to Borders Kitchen. I have a special guest today, Lisa. And in my office, we kept hearing about these no-bake cookies and how good they were. So I've asked Lisa to join us today and share her recipe. So would you like to tell us about your no-bake cookies and how you developed this recipe?
Well, it has evolved over time because when people come over, they bring me chocolate no-bake cookies, and I just kind of write them down in my cookbook. And I've kind of tweaked it over the years and found my favorite recipes, and this one kind of worked. And I finally have figured out that there's a trick to the amount of time that you cook it to make them perfect. So
you want to walk through the recipe with us today? We're going to turn the stove on, right?
Yep.
About medium?
Yep, medium high. Everything goes in the same pot, which is nice because I don't like to do dishes. So I put a stick of butter in here.
And we're using salted butter, right?
Yes, salted butter.
Okay.
Half a cup of milk.
And then we're going to add 2 cups of sugar,
Yep,
I think you
2
said?
cups of sugar.
And do you wait for everything to melt first?
Nope,
or
I
it all
just
goes
throw
in?
everything in the pot. Half a cup of cocoa. And I just keep stirring everything until it's melted. And then it's going to come to a boil.
Let's see if I can get enough here. Oops.
My measurements are never exact, so I try to be, but the
Baker in me makes me measure everything. So that's looking pretty rich and beautiful.
yes, and it smells good too. So I figure by the time your unexpected guest comes over and you're in a panic of what to make them, you can throw this in the pot, put on a pot of coffee, and by the time your guest is on maybe their second cup of coffee, they'll all be done. So that's the goal, is to have something fast and ready for company or for your kids to take to school.
From what I hear, as soon as you've made them, they'll disappear within an hour or two.
Well, yeah, my husband, this is his favorite cookie, and a lot of times I'll surprise him. He'll be in the basement doing something or out in the garage, and I'll just quickly come up with these, and it's a nice surprise. So, seems to be a family favorite. So it's getting pretty close. It's almost all melted.
And this time of year, these would be a great gift too, right? You can,
Yeah,
do
that's
they
a good idea.
Store well, or is it really best eaten?
I think within a day or two, and I always cover them with aluminum foil because it seems to preserve their the moistness in the cookie. So it's almost all melted, and try to get all the cocoa dissolved into the sugar and the milk and the butter, so there's no lumps.
So you pretty much stir.
Yep.
It's not something you want to walk away from the stove and.
No, I wouldn't, because the trick, like I said, is to give this a minute of boiling time. Anything over a minute, your cookies will turn out dry and light brown, and the goal is to have them shiny on the top and still a little moist. Once you start to see it kind of bubbling, then you just kind of start in your mind a minute, or you can set your timer for a minute.
So we will have this recipe on Borders blog, and you get all the details of all the ingredients that are in there. Lisa's been able to just kind of measure as we go, but all the details will be there on the blog. It's really boiling now.
Yeah, we're almost. I don't have the luxury of a gas stove, so when I turn off my electric stove, it's still boiling, so I'm just going to turn
this
it
will
off.
stop. Yeah.
That's about a minute. So now,
So we're gonna add,
I add
you add the liquid first, or does it matter what order you do this?
It doesn't really matter. I about a teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah, it's really boiling.
And I don't like to measure my peanut butter because it's one more thing I have to wash, but it's a half a cup of peanut butter, and it's usually about 2 good-sized dollops of peanut butter. And then I melt the peanut butter. Make sure.
I wish you guys could smell this because it's really starting.
Mm-hmm. Anything with chocolate and peanut butter. My favorite. It's almost melted. Takes just a second for it to melt.
That also brought the temperature down a little bit, so it's not boiling with the heat's off. And
Yep. So it's very smooth, very creamy. I like just using one pan to make something. Okay, I think we're there. All right, now you have measured me 3
I did
cups.
3 dry cups into this, and
Just make sure everything's well
this is the
coated.
quick cooking oats, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good point. You want the quick stuff. It's the quickest cookie you'll ever make.
Well, the good thing is the time between making it and eating it. Right?
Yes,
Very
that's
short window.
the favorite. See, now your
So
coffee's
pretty.
almost
Yeah.
done. You can pour yourself a cup of coffee.
Here, let me clean out some space for you so we can dollop these. So we've just set out some wax paper right on the countertop.
And you got to work kind of fast because these do set up rather quickly. And if you find that your cookie looks a little too wet, you can always add, 1/4 cup more oatmeal.
Okay.
But these look pretty good. So wait about 10 to 15 minutes for the cookies to set up, and they'll be ready to eat. Make about 24 cookies.
Well, thanks for sharing your recipe.
You're welcome. This has been fun. Thank you for having me.